You guys want to help? Hi everyone, in the garden again this weekend, and we're going to do some harvesting. We're going to have a look at my mini broccoli. A bit of a fail on this, and I'll show you how I messed up, but we still have some to harvest. We've got some eggplant to harvest, and I'll show you how the whole garden looks this time of year in December in South Texas, and hopefully we'll get some help from the girls today. Hey Bella. Here's my Melody mini broccoli from Johnny's Seeds. And we need to pick these before they start to flower. And unfortunately, I was waiting. I wanted to make the video of me harvesting these, and I did not. Well, I waited too long. You can see these have already started to flower. So not optimal there. But not all of them, I'm just cutting these tips off. Not all of them started to flower. Here's a nice beautiful little one there that hasn't started to flower. That'll go in the hod. And I'll take the rest of these tops off. Hopefully this is going to encourage more side shooting out of the nodes in these mini broccoli. I'll let you all know, or hopefully you'll be back and you can come see how this works out. But there's a beautiful little mini broccoli there that you can saute in olive oil and garlic. These are awesome. Melody, I hope you turn out really well. There's a little tiny one there, but you're going in there. There's another one. There we go. Bella is still waiting for the sugar snap peas to show up in the garden. You might be able to see some behind me here. We don't have any sugar snap peas yet, Bella. I know that's why you're out here. You want them, right? Oh, here comes your sister. Hopefully she's going to help. All right, I think we've got all of the... I do have all of the broccoli tops cut. Like I said, I hope we get some side shoots growing so I can start to harvest some more off of these. Let me show you a little bit of the rest of the garden. We'll go harvest some eggplant as well. Hello. Hi. You gonna help? You want to say hey to YouTube? All right, let's go, guys. Just a little bit of a quick tour here. Here's the bed that was to the right of where I was just sitting. And this is 9 Chinese cabbage plants, and some are more matured than others, but they're all starting to form their little heads, and these will be ready in about 3 weeks. This is going to be, or this is part of my annual kimchi harvest and grow and harvest that I do every year. So those are looking really, really good. Okay. You guys aren't going to help. I don't have anything to harvest in this bed, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here. We have the sugar snap peas in the back of this bed. These growing in the back here are daikon radish. And they, well, nobody's going to be able to see if you get in the way, buddy. Okay, how about you come up? Okay, no. These are daikon radish. I'm going to bring you in so you can see these. Oh, you can see those. All right. Oh. Bella, I don't think anybody can see the daikon. All right. So right behind Bella, you can see the daikon radish is coming in. And this is another ingredient in my kimchi. Behind that, we have the sugar snap peas that are not ready to harvest yet. Sorry, buddy. We've got beet greens, or beets, in front of that. And the beets, I mostly are going to be growing for the greens. I really densely planted these. If I want to get actual beet roots out of them, I'm going to have to thin them out. We'll see. We'll see. In front of this, we have some rainbow chard, looking great, and some... In front of this is baby bok choy, real baby bok choy, to where you can harvest these things when they're... I mean, I could harvest this right now if I wanted to. I let them grow out a little bit because, hey buddy, I harvest the leaves off them and I don't take them as a whole. But when I lived in Asia, what we would eat, let me just take one out for you guys. Let me see if one's, yeah, there's one right here. Let me show you. So I'll just twist it out. So there you have actual mini bok choy. And these are actually really great, washed out and sauteed whole and added to dishes. When I lived in Asia, this was a staple, really. 2 or 3 times a week we would have this. Very abundant in the local markets. You could pick it up anywhere. But this, from seed to this stage, this is called Li Ren Choy. This is the variety that I grew here. To this stage only took, I'm going to say 40 days, 35 days maybe just over a month. So there you have. And I mean, you could just plant out hundreds of plants like that if you wanted to, right? But, well, looks like we're going to have this tonight too. Are you okay with that? All right, let's head over and we will harvest some eggplant. All right. So the weather here in South Texas, this time of year, or today, we had a low of 44 degrees last night and a high of, I think, 69 today or 70 today. Tomorrow is going to be much the same with a low in the 40s and a high 60s, low 70s. But we are still harvesting these beautiful Asian eggplants. I mean, isn't that just, this really, I got this at the perfect time of its development. That is going to be great. And I have another one right here. You know, you can tell when you've grown eggplant, the sheen on the skin when you harvest it, when it's absolutely at perfection. Once it starts to go matte or a bit dull, you've just passed perfection. But when it's still got that sheen to it, this is going to be a really good eggplant to eat. And we've got one more curlicue here. We highlighted last week. Just look how shiny that is. Got a few little insect holes in the top of that. I wonder what those were. I don't know. But we'll cut it open later and find out if there's anything in there. This plant has been growing now since, wow, February of last year. So this plant is going to be 1 year old if it makes it to February this year. And we don't really get, we can get freezes here. Since I've lived here, it's been like the most, it's a couple of days. And that was extreme during the freeze last year. Normally, the most you get's a few hours at night, dipping below 32 degrees where I live. And you can just cover and protect your plants. But I move things around so much in my garden that I normally will pull up the eggplant rather than just growing it year round. And I enjoy gardening, so I'll plant new seeds and put it in a new location. One thing I could do is just always keep it in pots and then refresh the soil in the pots and cut the roots to give them a haircut to keep them in the pot. But I just enjoy the gardening. One last thing, if you saw last week's video, we planted the turnip in this bed. Turnip, they're a fast grower. They've already all come up and they are ready to, well, they're ready to get some water is what they're ready to do. But they've all come up. They look great. We planted a lot of seeds and I planted them a bit deep, so they probably took longer to come up than they needed to. But that's just how I garden sometimes. All right, got one more bed to look at. We got one more garden chore to do. Wait a minute, we didn't talk about this bed. You've seen it before. This is more of the sugar snap peas. We've got kohlrabi. Whatever was eating this plant seems to have left it alone now. I was thinking about that the other night. Maybe it was, I thought maybe it was a possum that was coming down and eating the leaves, because they'll crawl down from the back fence into my garden. It's really the only pest that I have is possum in this garden. but I don't think so, because they would have eaten the stem and all off of these leaves. We've got lots of kohlrabi, more beets, and one of my favorite space spinach there from Johnny's Seeds, and that's another cut and come again that I'll be harvesting soon. My space spinach has not done that well this year. I grew it on the patio bed, in the patio beds as well, and I'm yet to harvest any. So maybe my soil just needs a refresh, or maybe the gardener just wasn't as on his game this year, but it is growing and we will get plenty of harvests. It's just seemed to be growing very slowly for me this year. All right, last bed and last chores for this Saturday. I don't have any more treats. No, I don't. I know that's what you want. I don't have any more. Let's go. Here's another bed of mini broccoli, and this one is burgundy, so it's a red-headed broccoli. I never came in and thinned these out, so I planted them in 6-cell seed trays. I transplanted them out into this bed, but there were 2 or 3 plants in every seed cell, so now I've got to come in and thin these out to 1 plant per, about every 12 inches, and all the plants are about the same size, so I'm not worried I get the wrong one. Normally I would take the weakest looking plant, but they all look pretty much identical. So let me just clip these out. Oh, there's 3 in here. There we go. Not too happy about my Melody mini broccoli and the fact that I let those go to seed. That's a bit of a waste, but only 2 of them went to seed. The rest are okay for dinner tonight, and we should hear my phone alarm go off in just a second because I put something in the oven about an hour ago and I set the timer on my phone for an hour, so we may have a slight interruption in the video. Let me just get one more here. All right. Oh, just 4 more left to trim. There's 1, 2. Take the weaker one there. And that one right there. Okay, so this week's harvest, mini broccoli. My 2 ladies have abandoned me. They're not helping anymore. But we got mini broccoli. We've got some beautiful eggplant to go in tonight's dinner. And all in all, a nice Saturday afternoon in the garden. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I was in a golf tournament yesterday, and I think I caught a flu virus or a virus of some kind because I'm having trouble with my respiratory system, and I'm having a runny nose. But hey, still nice to be in the garden in December, to be in the garden with the girls, and have it be almost 70 degrees out. I hope you are at least thinking about enjoying gardening if it's too cold where you're at right now. Everybody, we'll see you next week.